Hey people, you found the Hill Builder Guru channel. This here is our old fart drift cart. What's an old fart drift cart? It's a drift cart built by an old fart. Anyways, if you've been following along, you know last time we got our fuel tank built. And we got it mounted up there now. Got her all strapped down with some nice shiny hose clamps. Just something about hose clamps holding a fuel tank in place that gets me really excited. The only thing that could probably get me more excited is if your fuel tank's held in with duct tape or baling wire. But anyways, it's strapped in there, it's secure. Got our fuel plumbed to our carb. It should be good to go in that respect. And last time, if you've been following along, you'll know that we had this thing fired up and those wheels were spinning around like crazy. They were probably doing about 40 miles an hour at idle, which was, I figured, a little bit too fast to get this thing moving, for one thing, with my body weight on it, and probably wouldn't be really pleasurable to actually operate. So, enough babbling. I put myself a smaller pulley on the front, substantially smaller. The one that was on there was a 4.5 inch, and this one is a 2.5 inch. So that should reduce our gear ratio quite a bit. I'm hoping. And if not, I don't know what I'm going to really do. So we're hoping this is going to work. And last time I was trying to figure out how I was going to depress the clutch, hold the brake, and pull the pull cord all at the same time. I only have two hands, and those two hands wouldn't even probably do that function. So I think I've come up with a solution here, and I'll show you what it is. So this here is what I've come up with. This is the brake handle. Brake handle pushes the brake shoe against the drum that stops the wheel. This here is the clutch. Push on the clutch pedal. The clutch pedal releases the belt. So the belt slips. That's our clutch. Belt grips, we go. Belt slips, we stop. Or we don't have any power. So what I've done is I have connected the pulley that tensions our belt to our brake lever. See what I'm doing there? That's the brake lever. There's a pin going through that connects to that pulley. That's our tensioner. So when we pull on the brake handle, it locks up that brake, and it also releases the tension on the tensioner pulley. You see that? Now we can also still push on the clutch, and it doesn't operate the brake. So if you're running around, you're revving her up, wanting to do some pedal kicks, you can still operate the clutch without the brake. But you can't operate the brake without the clutch. Does that make any sense to you guys? Makes sense to me, so it should make sense to you. You're probably more intelligent than I am. There's our brake. So now all we have to do is pull on the brake, lock it in place, which I'm going to build some type of lock to jam in here. But for now, maybe I'll just jam a stick in there or a board or something just to see if this is going to work. Solves two birds with, or kills two birds with one stone, or gets stoned and kills two birds or something like that. But anyways, hopefully it's going to work. Yeah. So what do we need next on this project? I think we need some drift sleeves. Now, I don't have any plastic pipe or anything that will slide over top of that wheel that's big enough. And I don't think those are going to be very drifty type tires. So I'm going to have to figure out something that we can make some drift sleeves out of. I think I got a solution to that. I don't really know if it's going to work or not, but it's kind of what this channel is all about, is using what you got to make what you want and finding solutions that maybe aren't really something that's going to slap you in the face, but something that will actually do the job. So let's go out and see what we can find for some plastic to make a drift sleeve out of. So here's my solution for a drift sleeve. You might laugh, but yeah. It's plastic, it's slippery, it's too big to go around that tire. We're gonna cut it up. We're gonna stick it back together. We're gonna make drift sleeves out of this. Do I know if this is gonna work? I know that these work for a drift sleeve. In a previous life, I used to play around with drift cars. It wasn't called drifting at that time, it was called, yeah, screwing around. Anyways, these plastic barrels will fit over the wheel of a Toyota pickup. Yeah, sounds like a really stupid idea, doesn't it? But damn, was it fun. Lower the pressure in your wheel, slide the barrel over the wheel, fill the tire back up, instant drift car. Well, drift pickup. But anyways, that was when I was young and dumb, and now I'm old and cantankerous and probably a little bit smarter, but not a whole lot. So let's see if we can make some sleeves small enough to fit over that wheel. The only thing is, this is the only amount of white plastic that I have, but I do have some blue plastic from a blue barrel, so we might end up with one white sleeve and one blue sleeve. These barrels were cut up in order to make planters out of. They were rain barrels for a while, and now they're planter barrels, and this one is just kind of laying around here. All the other ones are full of plants right now, but this one's not. So anyways, let's cut this up and see if we can make some smaller sleeves out of this stuff.
Now remember, people, don't do anything that I do at home. You'll probably die, and it will hurt the whole time that you're dying. I'm dumb as shit, and I live forever. And if you do stuff at home, then maybe you should record it so that people can watch you do dumb shit too. I'd like to say that made quick work of that, but it didn't really make quick work of anything. So, anyways, we got ourselves it's a sleeve. Sure. Okay. So now that I got a big, massive mess of plastic shavings all over my floor, I'm going to measure the circumference of this wheel. I've already let the air out of it, so it will be uninflated when we build our drift sleeve, and then when we inflate our tire, it'll push up on the inside. So wrap this rope, string, baling twine, whatever this is, around here, and I'm going to mark it. I'm going to mark it so that it's fairly tight. Put a little mark on my string. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Mark on my string. Now I'm going to put another mark out here. And we're going to cut one of those pieces of plastic the length to the second mark so that we can overlap it. You guys following along here? Okay, well let's mark it on the plastic then. Now we got our plastic here. Take our baling string here. Hopefully do this in a way that you guys can see what's going on. Wrap our marking string around. Find our mark. Let's go this way. We'll go this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Taking our string. Wrap it around. Find our second mark. There's the first mark. There's the second mark. Stretch it out fairly tight. Mark the second mark with our pen. And the first mark with our pen. Try to make sure we're using the right marks here, because I've obviously used this for measuring something else. Yeah, that's the right mark. Take a square. Fumble around and mark the line across and mark the cut line across. We're going to cut on that line there. Any of you wondering what's going on with the PT Cruiser GSXR build? It's a motor sitting right there, so it's still in the works, but it's taking a little bit longer to build than I figured it was going to be, in and amongst all the other things. So let's cut it on this mark here, and I'll show you how we're going to put this together. Now that we got it all cut to length, we're going to line up the cut edge with the line. Got to clamp it together. Try and get it as straight as possible. Pretty good. Grab another pair of vice grips here. Line that side up. Clamp that down. Kind of sort of looks like a sleeve. I'll poke some holes in it. Funny how something so soft takes so much force to drill. Pop rivets. Put a pop rivet in there. We're going to see if my pop rivet gun still works. Seems like it's not working.
I'll have to go find the other pop rivet gun before we totally give up on it. Try it again. If at first you don't succeed, swear and try again. Nope, obviously this pop rivet gun is not pop rivet gun anymore. Let's go find the other one. Okay, we're back with the shiny new pop rivet gun. Seem to have this real problem. I always grab the old broken tools, even though I got a brand new one here that works. Well, it works like brand new. I always grab the old tools. I guess if you grab the old tools, then the new tools will stay new forever, won't they? I don't know, that's kind of my mentality. It's probably not a very good mentality, but it's the only mentality I got. So, drill some more holes here, poke some more pop rivets in. Well, as you can see, I didn't stop at just a few rivets. I kind of went a little bit mental with them. Put them through the front, put them through the back, gave them a whack with a hammer, spread them out. Should be plenty strong enough to hold it together. Now, if you guys are ever working with plastics like this, or pipe, or making flower bed planters, or attempting to make drift cart sleeves, these edges, super rough after you cut them, super picky. If you walk past a flower planter that has this rough edge all over it and snag your leg on it, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a boo-boo. So just take a propane torch, fire it up, and melt the edge of it. Doesn't take much, just get it liquid. It kind of looks shiny and wet, and you know what? It's melting. It's gotten rid of all the fuzziness. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but it looks wet and it's got rid of all the rough, picky stuff. So just a little hint for you if you're ever working with plastics. Pretty much any type of plastic you can do that with. Don't touch that because it's really, really friggin' hot and it's melted, and it will stick on your fingers or whatever you've touched it with until it's hardened up. So it looks like a drift sleeve to me. Well, let's go stick it on the wheel and see if it's going to work properly. Well, let's see if all our measurements were correct here. I'm going to make it so that as the wheel is spinning, it goes past the lip like that. I'm sure as it's spinning, it's going to grind these rivets down, and sooner or later they're probably going to pull apart, but we should get a little bit of fun out of it before that happens. Well, let's see if we can get this over the tire. Remember, we've deflated this tire, so it's squishy. We should be able to shove it on there. There. Now when I inflate that tire, it'll expand, it'll hold onto that a little bit better, but it's on there pretty secure now.
I'm gonna have to go and make one for the other side. I don't have enough of this white plastic, like I said, so I will use a chunk of blue plastic barrel that I have. Do it exactly the same. I'm in the process of patching the tube for that other tire right now, so that'll be doing all that off camera and over the next little bit here. First problem is I can't remember what I did with my tire patching stuff, so oh, you know what? It's in the back of one of my motorbikes, so I'll have to go find that. But yeah, got some drift sleeves here. When I get all that other tire put together, we'll fire this up and make sure that this belt thing, brake clutch contraption is actually going to work. I got both tires put back on there now. I had to build the other drift sleeve out of the blue barrel that I had laying around. So we got 2 sleeves now, we got 2 tires. We got our belt and everything on there, our smaller pulley. Now I took a piece of wood, built a little wedge so that I could jam it in here, hold that brake lever back, which also holds our adjusting pulley or tensioning pulley for the clutch down. So let's see if this thing is actually going to start without the wheels spinning around like crazy, and if my idea of all this linkage stuff here is actually going to work. I hope it is, so let's find out. This thing's gonna work. Those wheels are definitely going a lot slower, so I feel better about that a little bit. Remember, this is just off miles an hour. Yeah, that's kind of a relief. It kind of looks like that whole linkage system is gonna do what I think it's gonna do and gonna be a real thing. Kind of a heck of a lot more complicated than I wanted it to be, but you got to do what you got to do. So I'm gonna try to figure out now some type of thing to, well, to jam that thing open like that without having some kind of wood wedge in here, because that's just, it does a thing, but it's probably not a practical, because I'm going to lose the wood wedge and yeah, blah blah blah, whatever. We're going to figure out some way to do that properly, or at least not look like it's a door wedge. Anyways, if you're liking this content, you should probably subscribe so that you can find this channel when your recommended start popping up with Curious George and Bill P, and because your grandkids are over watching your TV. So yeah, you can find Hillbilly Voodoo again if you subscribe, and once you've subscribed to the channel, you should probably go back and check out all our other builds and some of the other previous episodes, because there's some pretty cool stuff there and that'll keep you entertained. Hit the like button, leave some comments, let me know what you're thinking of this project and all these crazy machines that we're building. I think that I'm going to leave this video here because it's probably getting pretty long, and I'm going to think about, well, I'm going to think about how to remove this door wedge thing and build something that doesn't look quite like a door wedge. Yeah, well, so until next time, use what you got to make what you want. I'll see you guys later.